Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America. Thank you for joining us. Website thisweekinamerica.us. Back with us on the program, author Matt Shea, When Challenge Becomes Inspiration. What should you do when your home away from home is threatened? When loved ones around you feel helpless, you rise to the challenge and you find a solution. That's what Matt talks about in his new book featuring Chase Mansfield called the Meadowdale Community Project. We'll be talking about that on the program today and much more. Welcoming back to This Week in America, author Matt Shea. Matt, great to have you back with us on the program.
Oh, Rick, I am so grateful. I couldn't sleep last night. I was so excited to get back here with you.
Well, I am looking forward to talking with you and talking about it. It's always difficult. We don't want to give away too much of the book, but the storylines are so great and so inspirational. The book is called The Meadowdale Community Project. During the course of the interview, we'll give you all of the information on where you find out about the book, and Matt's got a number of websites. The book's available all across the country. And one thing you want to mention in the beginning is you really feel that you've been blessed in having a publisher who believes in you. You've been able to publish 7 books, and a lot of people who listen to the program like hearing from authors because it's something they aspire to do. Someday they would like to write a book. Talk about your publisher, because here's a company that's really looking for good inspirational messages.
Yes, they are called Virtual Bookworm, and they're out of Texas. And Bobby runs the show, and I have gotten 4 paperbacks through them already, working on number 5, 6, 7, and 8 at the present time. But Bobby has a small staff. It's Bobby, Angela, Jake, Cassie, Kayla, and Madison. And they are a close-knit group that basically mentor, hold your hand, sort of say, and walk you through. And they seem to be into the cause of getting a publisher out there because they don't charge much as far as the competition goes. They're there to get you published. They get you out there on the internet with the best of them. And I would not be here if they didn't work with me, if they didn't do the extras, encourage me. Keep in mind, I'm a common man. I'm the furthest thing from perfect. And they laugh with that, and they work with me, and they get it out there, and we get our books. But this is something they do with everyone. If you put forth a nice story that is something that your grandparents would like, something that a kid can take to school, they will work with you and make it happen.
And Matt's been on the program before. If you go to our YouTube channel, and Matt Shea, S-H-E-A, if you look for that, you'll find the video from the last time Matt was on the program. And Matt's website, if you want information, is very simple, Shea's, S-H-E-A-S, books.com. Matt Shea will give you that throughout the program. And you wanted to mention that the internet company you work with is to the web company you work with, because that's so important. I mean, if you write a book and nobody knows about it, it's not really going to touch very many lives. If you get the word out there, it actually can be inspirational to people.
Exactly. Now, Bobby and Virtual Bookworm did a very nice website for me, but I also went to Inexpensive Web Solution where Brock will take care of you. And Brock glorifies your identity. He portrays who you are to the world with that fun touch of your personal signature. And what we do is we get as many free samples as possible because we're introducing ourselves as a writer, because we want people to respond. We want to get ideas from them, constructive criticism. Way down the list is if somebody actually wants to buy a book. They have to dig a little deep to actually buy one. But they have all sorts of free samples and free access because we can't go anywhere without that feedback. And that's what they do for you. And so to work with Brock at Inexpensive Web Solutions, and Bobby, for that matter, at Virtual Bookworm, they make it happen. They hold your hand, they walk you through it, and it's a lot of fun, and it's out there forever.
The website is really unique in that you can learn about all of the books. You can learn about Matt. There are a lot of free samples and free stories there. And you really, and again, the website is Shea's, S-H-E-A-S, books.com. Our website, thisweekinamerica.us, you can go to our website and then link on directly. The nice thing is you want to have feedback, too. I mean, you really almost jump out of the computer and say, read the book, let me know what you think, and then get back with me. You really value input from the readers, don't you?
Oh, my God. Rick, I have a very special friend I made. Her name is Debbie Van Hoos, and she's from Paintsville, Kentucky. And she has put in 31 years teaching special ed, and she's semi-retired because she's still teaching special ed in her hometown. And she deals with people who have autism and other conditions. And she prepped me up this morning. She made contact, loves your radio program, was thrilled that her friend Matt was making it, and she sent me a little quote that I love. It is so inspiring. It goes like this. It says, "A child with autism sees all things differently than we do, perceives things in a different light, and can perceive things in ways we could never imagine." And that's precisely what Chase Mansfield is. He is pure from day one as all of us, but he did not allow life to contaminate him. Much like Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, he was non-threatening, but constantly a mother's love for everyone, forever taken for granted, but always the go-to guy when someone was down.
Well, Chase Mansfield is so important in your storytelling, in particular the Meadowdale Community Project, and we're going to set the stage for that here in a second. I know you have several very important people with you, and having people there input and actually sitting around and talking to people is where you get a lot of your story ideas. Who is with you there today?
My good friend Ella, who just turned 80 yesterday, and this is the person where I made the mistake of agreeing to teach her to play the game chess. I can't beat her. She kicks me pretty bad. But she's here right now. This is the person that I take hiking up on Mount Rainier at the local trails in the state of Washington. Got to hand it to her. Everybody, here's Ella back for a second time.
Ella, a day late, but happy birthday. Happy 80th birthday.
Thank you very much. Yes, it is great to be 80 years old. To have lived all those years is really something, and it is really, truly great to be able to play chess. And
well, that's a real inspiration to us.
Teacher you could ever want.
Yeah, that's a real inspiration that you're taking on chess and you're learning from the guy that bought you the set, and then you're kicking the guy that bought you the set, and you're out hiking with them as well. A great deal of encouragement out there for people that are 80. And again, happy birthday. It's great to hear your voice.
Thank you very much. And I say to everybody, just keep moving.
That's the key. That is absolutely the key.
Isn't that sound advice?
Yes. Yes, I'm writing it down, actually, as we're speaking, that just keep moving. Even at a little younger age, not much, but a little younger than 80, it's good advice.
Great.
Now, who else is with us there?
Well, we have Renee here, and Renee's the star of this one. The book was dedicated because her life greatly inspired me to write this book. Renee's in the book, and her wonderful dog that a year ago we had to lay down is in it. In fact, we have pictures of the dog and her together for the dedication. And her wonderful nephew up in Canada, Jeremy Klaus, he's my Chase Mansfield. Chase Mansfield is patterned after his wonderful life. And they're just a wonderful Canadian family. But here's Renee, and we'll let her express things. Here we go.
Hi, Renee. This is Rick. Welcome to the program. How are you today?
I'm really great.
You have to be excited about the book. It's an excellent book, the Meadowdale Community Project. You knew this was happening. It was going to be dedicated to you. You'd be mentioned there. But what's it like when you actually pick up the book for the first time and you see your name in print that literally thousands of people will be reading?
Well, it was pretty surprising because I really didn't know at first. And finally, when he starts asking personal questions about my height and my eyes and things like that, I thought, something's up here.
Well,
and then he says, well, you're in it.
Well, it's an exciting time, and the book is an excellent read, the Meadowdale Community Project, and we're going to talk about that in the program today with Matt, as much as we can without giving too much of it away. But I'm sure that you actually enjoyed sitting down and reading the completed story.
Oh, I have some real favorite places, and it's a really fun story. Great for a gift for kids and grandparents and parents to read to their kids. And my favorite part, basically, I could pick out a couple, is when there's the Squirrel Brigade. It's pretty funny. And then the vows that people have to give when they get their feeder.
Well, yeah, it's so interesting. The book has humor. The book has inspiration. It really is an excellent read. And Renee, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Matt Shea is our guest on the program, and information on the book available, all of Matt's books, at shaysbooks.com. He's got 7 of them out there, and we'll mention those before the end of the program. Matt, let's talk a little bit about the difficult. Don't want to give too much away here, but let's talk about the Meadowdale Community Project, the book, which is based on the Meadowdale Community Center. Talk a little bit about that, because here's a building that's been in disrepair for years.
Yes, so often when we have people in society who are dependent on taxes and they want to contribute every way imaginable, but because of their condition, they have to be carried a little bit by public assistance. And here we're having a community center on the outskirts of a humble town losing its funding, with the deteriorating building finally having to be condemned. And the people who are housed there, they're handicapped a multitude of ways, but they're still human with feelings. And what they've noticed was it became an area where recycled materials were sent there so they could rummage through as if they were being recycled themselves. So what they were starting to do was taking yesterday's gifts that were now being thrown away and building animal feeders out of them, to the point where people wanted their old Christmas presents back. Look what it is now. And the message is the happiness that they originally got, it's being recycled. It's brought back a second time. Just like Chase Mansfield and his friends. They're not to be disregarded. They were there the whole time, and they're getting a second coming. It works out for everybody. And in between, we have the animal kingdom. These pets that are cute, but we can't quite pet them, but they will allow us to feed them if they trust. It's a complete circle, because these politicians, these well-to-do people, they come home and they got to take their game face off, and sometimes they don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. These pets in their backyard that are hungry, they're making amends to life. They are seeing themselves through their animals, what they really are. And it's a complete circle, because what once made them happy on a birthday and anniversary is now feeding something that they love that's accepting them. It's a complete circle, and it all starts with Chase Mansfield and his friends.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Chase, and give me just sort of a little background on the character, because he's really, as he goes through the book, it's like, yeah, I really like this guy. He's very inspirational for all of us.
We've just heard Renee, and Renee is dual citizenship. And up in Canada, she has a wonderful brother, a dad. She has a nephew by the name of Jeremy Klaus. And Jeremy Klaus is of special education needs. He's a unique person, and he's constantly giving, constantly talking about helping out at the local food bank, volunteering, making people happy, the ultimate commodity. They could go to Jeremy and get food. When they see him in town, that's the guy that doesn't complain. He cared for me. Maybe I have a college degree. Maybe I had a business at one time. Who he is and the hand he was dealt in life, we come first. He cares for others. And so in honor of Jeremy Klaus, I've had the Chase Mansfield character created, because that's how I know the guy. And when I go up there, I love to listen to him. We go out for a hamburger, a milkshake. I just love hanging out with him. He is so pure.
Our guest on This Week in America is Matt Shea. Shea is spelled S-H-E-A. His website is Shea's with an S, S-H-E-A-S books.com. Information available at our website, thisweekinamerica.us. Matt has been with us on the program before. He is the author of 7 books. The newest is the Meadowdale Community Project. And the nice thing with Chase is he's really able to he ends up bringing the entire community together. Here's someone that a lot of people, even if they paid attention to, sort of looked through or looked above. And suddenly he's sort of the catalyst to bring this whole town together.
Yes, it's like Mom. Mom has that unconditional love. Your worst day in life, she loves you just the same. And that's what Chase is. Because Chase realizes that everybody in some God-given way, in some way, is disabled, some more obvious than others, and that's him. And so when he sees somebody putting a stigma on him, he knows that it's just a matter of time till they see their own, and then there's Chase. He could identify, hold your hand, and together you do something. Everything Chase does initiates from receiving from people, and then he gives back something so they could love it even better a second time. And they look at him, And that's exactly what they were the day they were born.
He breaks down so many barriers, and I know that that's an important part of your life, is to be able to really look at everybody and basically see the good in people and don't see them as having a particular problem.
Definitely. And we look at society today, if you really want to get to know your neighbor, wait till you have a power failure. Somebody is going to have a hot pot of stew for somebody. Somebody's going to have candles. We bond together. At a moment of crises, we hang on to the things that are most valuable, our loved ones, and we instinctively know who to go for. It's not the glitter people, the neon, not the Joe Popular. It's that humble person that was always there, that person in the background taken for granted because we knew they would always love us and always be there.
The book is the Meadowdale Community Project. Matt Shea is our guest on the program. His website is shaysbooks.com. Rapidly running out of time on the program, the book is really a very interesting, it's an easy read, it's a fun read, and this really, Matt, is a family-friendly story. I know that's what you like to do, and it's a book that I can read and pass along to kids and grandkids, and all of us will be entertained and actually inspired by what we read.
I appreciate that so much, and I guess that's where I'm coming from. I'm not a hard luck story. I was dealt a very fair hand. I was from a very wonderful family, not a great wealthy family, but a great close-knit family. And we had the same thing across the street, the houses up and down, the families behind us. And so I get to carry on these values. I had this with people I've worked with. I've always had it with neighbors. And all the time, if you're somewhere and somebody accidentally bumps into you or dents your car, it's funny how quickly it's a new friendship in the making.
Well, it's interesting, and we talked about this before. You were a union worker for 32 years. You talked about the impact of family over the years. And this really is important to you. And I have a feeling that you go through life as sort of a sponge. You're always looking for new opportunities, new people to talk to, and new inspiration for the books that you're writing.
100%. That word sponge is kind of funny. We take it different ways. But most definitely, I have an eye open for that.
Yes.
And I said this in our last interview. It's like in physics, if you saw a rowboat in half, it will not sink if the man keeps rowing. And that's my life. The moment I let go and stop noticing other people, I am dead in the water. I'm sunk. Through other people, I now have a feeling for writing. It's like lightning. Lightning actually comes from the ground up. Through other people, then I can start building something. It's the only way I can write.
It's interesting. We talked in the beginning of the interview about being an inspiration to people who want to write. I've always had the dream of writing and finding the right people who believe in you. This actually is something you wanted to do, and you really didn't pursue it aggressively until, in 2010 when you retired and you started writing. So this is sort of something late in life for you. How fulfilling is it to actually, and I talked with one of the guests, maybe both of them, about the thrill of actually seeing the book and being able to read it. What's it like when you get a shipment of books and they come and it's your story, it's your name, it's your picture? What's that like?
I truly feel like a 17-year-old kid who just got out of high school, and what do you want to be when you grow up? And on our last interview, we mentioned my childhood friend, Jay Turner. He has Redbird Sports Golf Clubs. They're tailor-made, famous worldwide. He does the same thing. He will hold one of my new books and then show me one of his new golf clubs, and then we will look out his shop window, and I'll see the house that I grew up in, and it's exactly what you're saying. It honestly is. But that book is like a photo album. It's nothing more than a reflection on the people that gave me the time of day, that had to say something to me, that took notice. I've been taking pictures of people by writing, and these books are photo albums. It feels great.
Well, and the book is excellent. Matt's newest, The Meadowdale Community Project. I mentioned he's got 7 books in all. 4 books are available in Kindle and Nook from the publisher Virtual Bookworm. Information you can get at Matt's website. The books are The Groundskeeper and Other Short Stories, Elmo, Chase, a Special Person, and The Discovery of Teddy Downing. And the book we're talking about, the new one, The Meadowdale Community Project. And he has 3 99-cent Kindle books on Amazon Books. Chase, A Special Person, Laura Town and Other Short Stories, and The World's Greatest Rock Star and Other Short Stories. Those are available at Amazon. All the information, very simply, is sheasbooks.com, SHEAS books.com, SHEASbooks.com. And you go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on. Matt, a pleasure having you back on the program. A pleasure to talk to everyone that's been so influential in your lives in being able to get to this point. Your 7th book, congratulations on another successful book, the Meadowdale Community Project. And we look forward to having you back on the program.
Bless you so much, my friend. This is Christmas come early, and the three of us are going to walk down the street now and have a meal and just celebrate, and we're going to toast This Week in America. You are such a friend. All the ladies are saying thank you.
Well, and thank
bless you,
them.
Rick.
Renee and Ella with us on the program, as well as Matt. And I'm not with you to have a toast of any kind, but I'll have another cup of coffee, and I'll send it your way.
Okay.
Okay, Matt, thank you for joining us. Once again, sheasbooks.com. Information available at our website, thisweekinamerica.us.